3, 2, 1. We are live. Yes, we are. Hi, everybody. We're coming live from a location here in Chattanooga. Hi, Gary. Everybody say hi,
Hi,
Gary.
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 Our friend Gary is he's in the hospital right now, ICU actually. So we send our love and our support to you, Gary, all of us, and we're going to send it again at the end. But we're going to read the meditation. And but first, let's go around the room and say our names. Just the first name. Just tell them.
I'm Libby.
You've met Libby before. Over there by the dam. Right, Libby?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you know what? You're not going to be able to. Let's move them around a little bit so that we can kind of yes, you're kind of here, but you're not. Okay, so just imagine you're sitting in a chair right there with all of us, because we're just going to show you what a 12-step meeting looks like. So, okay, that's Libby.
I'm Devin, I'm an addict.
Megan, addict.
Recovering person named Veronica.
Man named Joe.
My name's Graham, I'm an addict.
Yeah, I'm a recovering person. I'm an addict. I call all the above. Okay, so, all right, so Graham is going to read our meditation loud so they can hear it too.
Alright, day 75, the walk, the talk. I told you I was tired and I wanted to sit down, that I could walk no more. You told me yes, later I could. I told you I felt as though all the things were making me lose my mind. You told me yes, I might, but not to do so at this time. I told you other people's words and convictions made it so I wanted to turn away. You told me yes, to turn away and find a better way, to remain who I am to whoever or whatever is in front of me. And just who am I? I am just me, walking through life with God as best I can, hoping in the end that I have made deeper friendships with people and with the Almighty God of all that exists.
So just everyone.
Yeah, just whoever wants to go first.
Okay. Table's open.
We know how to do this. They don't. They don't know how to do
It
it.
was open. Thanks, Graham.
Thanks, Graham.
Yep.
I like this. I'm Devin, I'm an addict.
Yeah, Devin.
I like this part where it says, and just who am I? Because when I came in these rooms, I really didn't know who I was at all. And just, yeah, like I'm just me, and I'm still trying to figure out who me is. And this program is slowly unraveling those masks and stuff that I put on when I was out there. And it's like, I'm finally figuring out where I might fit in this world instead of out on the streets or out doing drugs or out just wasting precious time. 'Cause I think, like you said earlier, we only have one shot at this. And it says, I've made deeper friendships with people and with Almighty God. I've never had friendships as close as I've had, like, in the rooms. So it's like, I don't know, like I can actually call people and know that they're going to show up. I can actually call people and like talk to them about some real problems and not just get hung up on. And like, oh, I don't want to hear your problems. I have enough going on. Where you guys can both converse and get on the same page and figure out where and how to like benefit each other's disease and sickness. And how to like get through it together. And that's, to me, it was made the biggest difference. But yeah, that's all I got for right now.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Devin.
My name's Megan, and I'm an addict. And what popped out for me was, because I also grew up in a home where I feel like I suffered religious abuse too. So I liked where it said that you can turn away from other people's ideas of God and stuff and find your own way. That was like really important to me. And I say it so many times, and I'm not sure, but like that's what kept me coming here is when I went to my first recovery table, first words out of my mouth were, I don't do God. And nobody went, oh, and tried to God me up afterwards or tried to, make me, believe like they did or, or shame me or judge me or any of those things, and I have found a higher power within that loving context. You know what I'm saying? Like the higher power that I grew up with was, I'll strike you down for that, you know, type thing. That was, you know, in my head, you know, and I didn't have a concept of a loving God. You know, I had a concept of God will get you for that God, you know, and so it's through coming here and having people accept me just where I am, and people loving me even when, you know, like, can you imagine walking into a church and saying, I don't believe in God, you know, people would just be mortified, you know, and so it's like really cool that I can come in here. And there's days when I'm not sure what I believe. Like when I first heard God as we understand him, I used to say God as I don't understand him, you know, because I had no concept of a God which I could understand at all. It was just an unfair, you know, entity that didn't love me, and that you know was just always trying. Everything I wasn't good enough, you know. So why want to walk through your life's journey, you know, the only journey you have, you know, one shot, with somebody who's always making you feel less than and unworthy and, you know, and stuff. And so I just completely turned in the other direction. So it's been good to find a loving, caring God as he expresses himself. And he expresses himself through, like, you know, hearing like new people that are coming in and their spiritual awakening just feeds my soul. You know what I mean? Because, you know, just watching them grow in their belief and you know, seeing how it works for them makes me feel like, you know, gives me hope, you know, and shows me I'm on the right path, and just feeds my soul today. Anyway, thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Megan.
My name's Graham. I'm an addict.
Hey, Graham.
I really like the title is actually kind of thought provoking to me, because this reading, so the walk, I guess, is kind of like going through life, but the talk part is more what I'm thinking about, because most of what is said in this reading are like thoughts that I've had with myself, like saying I'm tired and I want to sit down, and like, you know, other people's ideas and convictions, like, should I turn away? But what I really like is that it's written like it's being like you're sharing those things with somebody else, and like, because I think that's a lot of what is like helped me get to where I am in recovery, has been not just staying in my head and being alone with my thoughts, but it's saying those things out loud to other people and getting feedback. And I thought that was really cool how it was written. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Graham.
I'm a recovering addict named Joe.
Hey,
Hi,
Jeff.
Jeff.
And man, this is a new experience. I haven't been in front of the camera in wow.
Have you ever seen an addict shaped like that? I had an eye on it. I had a real pretty eye. I gotta find it. I'll get it and put it back up there.
And this helped me to like apples more than I used to. Because this addict has a big apple symbol on it. Man, the 12-step program that we all are in is so beneficial. I remember a time I was sitting here thinking, and I always had to remind myself that when I first came in here, misery I thought was happiness. I wasn't happy unless I was miserable. You know, and I've heard it said, and I can kind of identify, is that religion is people who are trying not to go to hell, and what addicts have already been to hell, and I can tell you I've been to hell, and this program is keeping me from going back. So, you know, I have nothing but praise for any 12-step program, because it's teaching me a new way to live. You know, my biggest enemy is my own self. You know, it's nothing that no one, no person, place, or thing has done to me that I haven't done worse to myself. So I'm in the process of learning how to deal with my worst enemy, and I'm having a program and a direction that I need to go to get better. And I'm not gonna break any anonymity. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm Libby and I'm an addict.
Hey,
Hi,
Libby.
baby.
I really enjoyed this reading. I also enjoyed how it seems like a dialogue instead of a monologue. It's really encouraging also to know always that other people are always asking the who am I question, because the only answer I have figured out to that question so far is that I'm an addict that's trying to do something differently, and coming to a 12-step program where other people are also learning about who they are has been really helpful, because you feel like you fit somewhere finally, and it's like all the pressure is off. You don't have to bullshit anybody anymore.
No. Yeah.
And that was one of the most exhausting parts for me, is like never taking the time to figure out who I was, just to be whoever I had to be, to get either into or out of the next situation that just led to my destruction. And I'm really grateful for this reading, and I'm really grateful to be here. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
I'm an addict and a recovering person named Veronica. You know, the thing is, I think the cool thing about this reading for me is I wrote it early in my recovery, and so I had 12-step people influencing me, you know, and this is one of my favorites because it's about, you know, my walk with my higher power and trying to figure out who I am, and then realizing that, you know, I don't gotta know, I just gotta know where my feet are walking, and I know that God is with me on that walk, and that He has given me a group of people to help me with that walk. And one of my favorite lines out of this is, because I'm going back and forth in it, saying, you know, I'm telling you, God, I'm tired, and I want to sit down. I can't walk anymore. And then God's like, and yeah, well, you can sit down, but not now, later. I told you that I felt like, you know, all the changes are making me lose my mind. That's my favorite one right there. Because life sometimes, just even still today, can feel so heavy, and I'm like, God, you know, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And God says, yeah, well, you might, but not right now. It's like, you know, and that's all I need is not right now. Some days. And that's why I keep going, you know, to meetings, and that's why 12-step is such like that jewel in my life, because there's days when I feel like that. I feel like, but like the hope comes from, yeah, well, that might be going on, but not now. Because now you're in a meeting, and listen to what Libby's going through with complacency. Boing, boing.
Oh, that's gonna leave a nasty red.
Throw that in there, you know, and then listen to what Graham's going through. Listen, and then it's like suddenly it's like, okay, well, you know, I might, but not now. Not now, because like now I want to listen to somebody else, and that just keeps me coming back. That's just something to where, you know, it's years later, and it's like it's still there, you know. And then I think about other people, you know, how that spreads to other people, because in the beginning it's only about me. It's like I'm so messed up. Help me, help me, help me. That's the newcomer line, really should be, help me, help me. Okay, then we help them. Help me, help me, help me. And then we help them like, oh no, over here, help me, help me. And then we get that sponsor. I'm gonna help you. Get your ass over to that meeting. Go make some coffee, right?
Yeah.
Clean up after the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, you know, just the gratitude that we get, and the thought of, you know, being able to extend that back to people in any way that we can, and we learn to do that. So, and that all comes in figuring out who we are. You know, I don't, on any single day, I don't really think today about who I am, but it's as much as who I'm walking with. I just know that group of people walking with, and my higher power, I don't think it gets better than that, you know, for things that we may be faced with, like, you know. So that's our meditation, our recovery journal meditation for today, and that's just a group of us trying to kind of show you here We may do it again. Probably gonna do it again. And we'll maybe have some different people again. But I like what you said, the Recovery Journal Roundtable. Is that what you called it? Recovery Roundtable. Something,
That's
but it
pretty
works for
good.
today.
I like it.
So anyway, we're going to close this up today with the Serenity Prayer, but we're going to all first say to what? I want to say something to Gary. Gary, I love you. You're a recovering person. You're an addict. Your heart goes out to everybody, and our hearts are going out to you during this time. So you get well. Get
Yes.
better. We're all pulling for
We
you.
need you.
Please.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
miss you here at the Nooner.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Megan?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Smack my hand. She had to read the announcements. She did a good job. I didn't have to climb through the window, Gar. Somebody, the door was open. The door,
Yeah.
pastor opened the door.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we got to close. Show Scrappy once. There's Scrapper.
You're Scrapper.
I said it again. I said Scrappy. Darn it, Scrapper. All right, let's close with the Serenity Prayer. We'll circle up and we'll circle up and pull that camera in it. We'll get creative.
Uh-oh.
So my arms
we can do
stretched
it.
long.
Yeah, we can do it. And we'll back it up. We always have an amoeba. We don't actually make a circle, but
Yeah.
we'll kind of like reach your arm out. Looks like they're in there.
All right.
Yeah, we hug.
Okay.
Okay.
Hugs,
Oh,
not
that's
drugs.
There we go.
All right, Jeff, you can close.
Recovering
Take
addict named, we're closing now. Recovering addict named Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
And let this circle represent what we can do together that none of us can do alone. Let's have a moment of silence for the still sick and suffering addict both in and outside these rooms. And let's follow that with the third step prayer.
Okay.
Serenity.
Serenity prayer.
I think we can say it
which
third
one,
set.
everyone?
We can say it third set.
Okay, I
That's
just
not breaking
okay,
anything.
okay.
Go ahead, Jeff. He's like, think. All right.
Now
There's
he's
no
not-
editing. There's no editing.
Now he's not sure.
Many of us have said,
Yeah, that's
Take
cool.
my will.
Take my will and my life. Guide me in my recovery. Show me how to live. Just for today. Keep coming back. It works if you work it together. Yeah. All right, guys.
thank you.
All right, thank you. That's awesome, guys.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the little recovery journals. I like them a lot.
It took me like 5 minutes to figure out that was you.
Yeah, I was like,
I was looking at her like, she looks really familiar.
yeah. That's such a big pitch.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it's everything in there is. I need my glasses to turn that off. We'll turn you off, guys.
keep coming back.
Oh, and remember, if you're struggling or going through anything, go get you some recovery. Bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.